What's up, dedicated Dragon Ball denizens? I'm Ryan, and we're here for another episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. This time we've got more old school decks. Last week we did Vegeta, FB05. This time we're going even further back in time with Green Vegeta, which was from FB04. Another deck I really like, and it did get some support, though the two cards I added are a little bit maybe unexpected support for the deck, but let's get into it. All right, deck list is up on the left-hand side, and there is going to be some talk in the other cards to consider. There's a lot of ways to go with this deck, but of course I'm going with my favorite build, which does have that angry Kamehameha in it, and we'll talk about maybe some of the changes that we can make to the deck, but this is how I like it. Okay, Vegeta, when attacking, draw a card. Then on Awaken, he's going to still draw a card. And then he has his Activate Main. Once per turn, place one of your energy into its owner's drop. If you have 4 or less energy, play up to one Saiyan only battle card with 3 or less from your hand. So, has to be Saiyan only, but you do basically play it for 1. So, cool concept. Initially, he wasn't that great. SB01 did finally make him competitive, although, again, for the most part, the meta has well caught up to him. Now, again, this is not a meta deck. This is the deck that's probably not going to do great against most of, if not all of the Gogetas. I think maybe you could do okay against red, but it is going to struggle against black, and it's also going to struggle against yellow because for reasons I'll mention as we go through here. Okay, but that's that. So I'm not going to spend too much time on a lot of the cards that are just the core to the deck. We know Nappa we're going to run as a 4 of. I still have the Gohan Youth as a 4 of as well. There are some considerations to maybe go down 1 or 2 in order to get you some more turn 1 plays, but you know what, whatever. If you don't play anything turn 1, I don't care. All right, let's get into the first new card of the deck, is this Broly. So this Broly is actually an interesting kind of unexpectedly good card for the deck. So it came out in FB09. So it's a 2-cost 20k, 5k combo. Just that kind of, those stats alone, I really love for this deck. And then add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Again, like other than my 3-cost Saiyan onlys, I'm always looking for good 2-cost 20k attackers with self-awakening in there. But then it gets even better. So when attacking for 1 energy, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 from your hand. So in essence, it's a draw 1, but it's also a cycle card. So I found it really useful. We're always trying to search for our pieces in this deck. It's very specific pieces needed in order to really get the most of it. So if you do have that energy to spare, it's great. However, we will not always have that energy, but at worst, you're throwing him down as a 20k attacker, kind of similar to this Gohan, right? The only difference between these two is this is a 10k combo, which is why he really stays in the deck with very few 10ks. Okay, so I've got Vegeta in here as a 2 of, just in case I don't find my moon, really just an emergency, another 10k combo if I don't get him out. And then we've got Raditz. So I do like this Raditz. I find him useful. Again, in a deck where I want to find my pieces, he's in essence a draw 1 and can draw me whatever I need from my drop. A lot of people don't like the Raditz because he kind of conflicts with our other 3-cost Raditz that doesn't let you play another one. But on play, if you place the card from your energy to your drop, add 1 Saiyan only Raditz with the cost of 3 or less from your drop to your hand. So just really nice. I really like this card. He lets me pull my Vegeta back from drop if I don't have him. Sometimes I'll pull a 10k and Saiyan only. So again, you can pull your instant Kamehameha back from drop as well. So I like this card as a 3 of. I'll talk about in the other cards to consider what you can replace him for if you really don't like him. That honestly might be the move. I was actually really thinking about this as I was making the deck. So I may consider a different package other than him. Now here is Kefla. Now another one, interestingly enough, this card, in my opinion, is really meant for Giblet. It's meant for Giblet. It's a 3-cost 20k, 10k combo. On play, place 3 of your energy into their owner's drop. Add up to 2 green battle cards from your drop to your energy. So cycling there, you're going to pay 3, place 3 to drop, and then place 2 back into your energy, and those go in active mode. And then another one, when attacking, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So I really love this card for the package that I'm using here of the Angry Kamehameha, because you can play her for 3. Maybe you played a 2-cost first, maybe you don't have a lot of energy, whatever. You can use all your energy and then still have enough to play the Angry, and then when attacking, she can take a life, which on if she does stick, you're able to play her on the next turn and take a life for the Angry. I love it. And then I actually figured something out by accident yesterday that makes me like her even more. So this deck's curve, let's go straight over to Raditz, right? This deck's curve loves playing Raditz on turn 3, right? Usually you're going to be at 6 life on turn 3, okay? So on Raditz is on play. If your lead is Vegeta, play a Saiyan only non-Raditz battle card with cost of 3 from your hand. Then you can't play Raditz. Cool. When attacking, add up to 1 card from life to your hand. So on turn 3, usually what you want to do, play out Raditz. You can and then play into the Goku. On play, switch 1 card in your battle area to rest mode. If you lead as Vegeta, add 1 card from your life to your hand. Then the blah 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 blah. Okay. Well, I should say, then add the top card of your deck to your energy in rest mode, which is important, right? So turn 3, you are going from 6 to 4 life with these 2 cards, Awakening, and you are also ramping up 1 to 5, okay? The most important thing, really, in my opinion, is, this is an aggro deck. And we want to really get going on our opponent on that turn 3, make sure that we get them and start bashing their face in, because honestly this deck is on a timer. When we're playing multiple bodies per turn, we're costing cards in hand per turn. It's not fun, okay? I mean, it's fun, but at a point then you're not going to do well, at least with my build. So what happens though when we don't see Raditz, which inevitably happens? A Raditz is a 4-of, and it's really my only way of making this happen. So this is where Kefla comes in. I love the Kefla. We're coming into turn 3 with 3 energy. We're going to play out Kefla, place 3 energy into your drop, and then add up to 2 green battle cards from your drop to your energy when attacking draw card. Okay? So 3 energy. We get 2 back up. Guess what? If we're not awakened yet, as long as we have a Broly or a Gohan in our hand, we can use that 2 energy, play one of them, go down from 5 to 4 life. It does cost us an energy though, so do note that we are going to go from 3 energy to 2, but we're awakened. But guess what? Then hopefully you're going to go to Goku after that, right? So think about this, okay? So we'll go down from 3 to 2. We're gonna then play leader skill. We're gonna go down from 2 to 1. We get this guy back, right? Then we go from 2 to 3 again, right? No, I'm sorry. We go from 1 to 2, and then end of turn we go back to 3. So at least we kind of net zeroed on that energy. We're able to replace both of the 2 that we got to drop back. Then next turn we're going to be at 4, which does hamstring you a little bit because you're not going to be able to play these guys out, which is also why I'm in consideration for maybe putting, another Searcher or a Cantrip in the deck. But I don't know. I think I'm fine with it. Awakening is important, and now this is what I really like her for, is that we are able to basically have another way of awakening and really going hard on our opponent, because it just feels so bad when we miss that Raditz and we're not able to awaken, or the Goku. So it still does. I mean, one thing to note, you cannot play Kefla off of Raditz. So that's unfortunate. We cannot play her off of Raditz because she's not Saiyan only. That really sucks. It would have been nice if they could have just cut all of this crap out of her and made this a Vegeta support card. I mean, I get it, but like, there's so many Saiyan onlys. Like, why not? Why not do it? So that sucks, but whatever. Moving on, obviously we have our Vegetas. So let's talk about this one for a minute and why this card is going to struggle. This deck overall is going to struggle against Black Gogeta, Gogeta GT, because we cannot attack with Vegeta. We can play him out with Raditz. And you can get that draw play on play draw card. However, before you attack with Raditz or Vegeta, you need to make sure that you activate main for 3, place them into drop. If you have field, play our grade 8 Vegeta. It's not the worst thing in the world, to be honest. We do lose out on 125k swing. It is still a lot better than playing out the grade 8 for 6, in my opinion, because we can play him. We can play, one of our 2 costs. Then we can attack with the 2 costs, leader skill, if we're at 5 energy. Leader skill, and, put him into drop, get the ape out, and then attack with Raditz. So it's not like it destroys the deck, but that 125k swing is a lot. At the very least, the good thing is that he's replacing himself by drawing a card. So I still don't think that like it makes the matchup an auto loss against Gogeta GT, right? It does not make it an auto loss by a long shot. It does make it a little bit harder. 25k is it's a card in hand that we're losing, but really like that's the only thing that's going to affect us. The other thing would be obviously like they're going to go for this guy a lot. So if you do have him on board, make sure that you do plan on using this. Hopefully your energy's in the right spot. Make sure that you're attacking first. But, there we go. Okay, here's our second problem here is the other one is going to be against yellow. All right, yellow is rough with the Gogeta SCR as a double striker, right? Because it does make it your win con very hard when, you want to get them down to 2 life and then just double strike them to death, right? Number one, we don't have a way of removing that SCR and putting it to life, which would be anyway, so it's kind of like whatever. It's not the biggest deal in the world. But yeah, if we double strike them, they get down to 0. Cool. Then their SCR goes to life. But now they do only have 1, so I actually haven't played one yet. I haven't done like a ton of matches with this deck. I've played a few and did well. And, well, it's been hit and miss. I'm not going to say I've done extremely well. But, then we can go and really, like, just, if we can survive another turn, hopefully we get that angry out with them at 1 life. So there is that. I mean, it does suck, but I think it's not, again, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think that we can manage. You get them down to 1, and now it's like we can KO them with any of our attackers and an angry, so long as we can take a life the next turn, and so long as we don't end that turn on 1 life. Okay, I threw in the 1 Goku just to have as well. I almost, if this deck didn't struggle so much with combo power, I'd like to increase to 2 Namakus in the deck. I don't think we're there. I don't think it's necessary, right? We've got the Vegeta super combos. We've got the 3 of instance. Be careful with using the instance now that we have Kefla in the deck. Again, I think we ideally want to stay at that 5 energy so that we can use one of these 2. And then obviously the Angry Kamehameha that I've brought up multiple times. I just love this card. I really love it. Activate battle your turn. If a card is removed from your life during this turn, your cards get plus 30k for the battle. It just makes it really hard to defend, and it also gives us other win cons other than the Great Ape double strikes, right? So be careful. I think that this deck with this card can still hang. Strategy, strengths, and weaknesses of the deck is just swing face. It's why I'm like removal, whatever. Our removal is even worse now that now we're kind of bumping up the bar from 5 costs to 6 costs. I've mentioned that a lot in other videos as like 6 costs are the new 5s, right? And the Great Ape Vegeta used to really solve as like, oh, those 5 costs, like not a ton of decks were playing out 6s and you could play around them, but now it's like every good deck has that 6 cost, and not only does it have a good 6 cost, but it's getting that 6 cost out before turn 6 for the most part. based on things, right? Even black, their Vegeta is going to be more than a 5 cost. And the other evolves are getting out there very quick with the Gogeta. So 6 cost being the new 5 does make things hard, but just swing face, okay? Swing face, ape attack, you know, just get into those apes as much as possible and just pressure, pressure, pressure. And then angry Kamehameha, whether you're using it on your ape or another card, because a lot of decks I find too just say, okay, well, I'm just going to get down to 1 life real quick. Well, guess what, buddy? I got an angry Kamehameha for your face now, and you're at 1 life, and it's going to be real hard for you to defend that, okay? Strengths. I do find this deck is as consistent as ever now that we've solved another problem of having our ramp on there. It does make you have to play around it a little bit, but you're still going to start your turn 4 with 4 energy, and at worst, just put that energy directly into drop, and you can get your grade 8 Vegeta out there as early as turn 4. We should be able to do that. It's a very fast deck, too. You know, now I'm seeing, you know, decks are... aside from maybe Gohan and Beast, you know, we're kind of seeing a little bit more mid-rangey, long-range decks that are out there. So this deck's fast. We're going to really just punch them in the face and see if we can finish them off quick enough. Good finisher as well. You know, we've got 2 ways of winning with the angry Kamehameha, which is what I like about it. Weaknesses, though, it does have very poor removal. And the thing about it is, like, I can talk about swing face all I want, but your opponent is going to be doing the same. And, you know, when we're against black and we're having to deal with a 50k swing from a Vegeta and a 30k swing, and then a turn later they're going to either throw another Vegeta or they're going to throw out a Super Saiyan 4 Goku that destroys your board that had 3 or 4 bodies on it, and now that's a 60k swing. It's not going to be easy to survive. So it really does. That poor removal can come back to haunt you. Your swings are rather small, too. You know, we are hitting with 20s and 25s other than our Great 8 Vegeta. And again, like, other decks are just catching up. They're catching up, and now we're having multiple 30s and or like multiple 25k swings, which just really match us. Like, the aggro is a lot different now. Like, Gogeta BR gets as many swings as us in a turn because they're playing a Goku, a Vegeta, and then into that Gogeta. And a lot of those cards have, like, they're replacing themselves in the deck. It's kind of rough. Small swings. Combo power is still an issue. We did gain another 10k though with that Kefla card, so that does help us a little bit. I do find that my survivability is potentially increased against some decks, but again, it's really offset by the fact that we are also getting opponents that are swinging big into us. Other cards to consider. Now, I went with this one just because, like, people might be like, hey, this is direct Vegeta support for it. And I've said a lot about this card and how much I hate it, and I still hate it, and I will always hate it. On the surface, it looks good. 2 cost, 20k, 5k combo. Like I said, I love these cards. If your leader is a Saiyan only card, add 1 card from your left to your hand and discard 1 card from your hand. Then choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. That just is terrible. Number 1, forced adding to life. My turn 2, I want to play Moon. And then I cannot play this guy again. Like, my 2 costs I want to play after I'm awakened. I do not want to have to take a life. It's not good. The forced life. And then discard a card from your hand. So now we're losing a card in hand as well. Again, in a deck that needs combo power. Choose 1 card with a cost of 2 or less and KO it. Cool. You know, obviously we're trying to get rid of these 2 costs that are, you know, in the Gogeta decks that evolve. I mean, I see the logic, but the forced life, come on. I mean, I get it. You're KOing a 2 for a 2. Just doesn't fit. Just doesn't fit in this deck. Ruthless Sorting is a card I think I need to get, and I've got an idea on how to do it. I mentioned in there about I mentioned what did I mention? I mentioned Raditz, right? A lot of people don't like Raditz. I'm running him as a 3 of. So what you could do is get rid of the Raditz, replace 2 Raditz with 2 of these guys. Nappa. It has the same combo power, lets you play the Ruthless or Angry or Moon for free if things go awry. And then we can maybe go down like one Gohan or one Broly. I would probably say one Broly to keep your 10k combo power. And now we can throw into Ruthless Sorting. We only lose a grand total of 10k combo power. So that might be the way to go. I may try this out because it does really help. But again, we're now like, we've got multiple cards that are placing in a drop. Place one of your energy to its owner's drop. If you lose Vegeta, choose a rest mode battle card with Saiyan in its special traits and KO it. I also think, like, why does it have to be rest mode? It really hamstrings the deck because if players are seeing green Vegeta, they may try to play around it, knowing that you cannot remove their 6 costs. Except for with this card, they may just throw that, let it chill, next turn play another 6 costs and just destroy you. So I don't know, I'm not sold on this card. I never have been. It's obviously the only way we're able to remove some of these Gogetas. It is more useful than ever because all the meta decks for once are using 6 cost Saiyan cards. Not Saiyan only, sorry. Obviously against green it also works with the Gohan Beast. Goku, it works. So it's every deck has it. So I do want to try it out. I'm just not sold on it. So if I'm you, yeah, definitely maybe go down to, if you don't want to lose some more combo power, you can always get rid of the Angries. I think the Angries are just too cool to remove, right? Hit is always an option too. We don't see as much 1-cost spam out there except maybe against the Super Saiyan 3. So Hit does have a place. Let me get this mic down, it's kind of bugging me. So, yeah, I feel like Hit still has a place out there. He has to add up to 1 card from life to hand. And then if you have less energy than your opponent, choose all battle cards with a cost of 1 or less and KO them. You know, it's a good card, but I think the Broly's better. I think Broly just does a little bit better here. Nappa is always one to think about, but just that 0 combo just gets you into trouble. Obviously, he's another ramp that you can use if you don't find your Goku. I also don't like, though, that the the ramp comes from your life and it costs you a card in hand compared to if you're playing him off Goku. But it does give you the extra option to ramp, right? The reason I like, when I'm mentioning, if you don't find the Raditz, you use the Kefla. Is like the Kefla is a 10k alternative to Raditz, whereas the Nappa is a 0k alternative to Goku. So it's just not for me. This card just too slow. Just too slow. I know that it can protect you against Goku. If you do, then you're probably going to want to pair it with this. Always thought that these two were a really good pair of playing this card end of turn off of the Gohan's ability, but that's it. Now this is another one I've always thought of as bait, but I think now more than ever it's honestly like a better alternative to Ruthless Sorting. Maybe not. It's a 5-cost 35k 0 combo. It's a crit. On play, place 2 of your energy into their owner's drop, choose a battle card and KO it. So it is that automatic KO. So it could be one that maybe you try instead of Raditz in the deck. Maybe run him as a 2 and then, I don't know, find another card as a 1-of or something. Or just play Raditz as a 1-of. I don't know. I wouldn't run this guy more than a 2-of, but he can be a solid alternative to Ruthless Sorting. But I'm not sure if I'm sold on it. Alright, well that's going to do it for this episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. Hope you enjoyed that episode here. We've got plenty more to come. I'm going to start maybe looking into some of the newer decks, but these are all decks like the Vegito and the Vegeta that I've just, I know that they're not meta, but I just really love them. Honestly, too, I'm trying to find like a day 2 regional deck to play. And when I say day 2, LA Regionals is next week, and or by the time this video comes out, end of the week. It's 2 days. I'm going to play one deck one day. I'm going to play another deck another. When I say day 2, some people are like, you can't change between day 1 and 2. But no, I'm playing different. It's 2 different regionals. So I want to play 2 different decks. So I am trying to find a rogue deck to play. So that is part of why I'm running all of these. Is Vegeta the one I'm going to play? Doubtful. I think we could safely say no, unless I might have to mess with this list and figure it out. But the deck actually doesn't do bad. It doesn't do bad. It's not auto losses like some of these decks. It is going to have a hard time, but I don't think it's an auto loss against these decks. So let me know in the comments what you think about some of these other cards. Have you tried any of these lists? Is Ruthless Sorting the way? Is Goku Black maybe the way? Is even Gohan the way? Which I'm going to probably say no. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Hawk's Nest. We're a fearless flock of fabulous folks out here who love to do what we love. We've got plenty more after regionals. I may skip a week because regionals are Saturday and Sunday. So if you don't, you are going to see some content, obviously, Thursday. And then Saturday, we'll have a demo with the Vegeta. I already have that video out. I think it went well. So stay tuned for that. And then we may be taking a week off of decks. We'll still have our unboxing. But anyway, until then, we will see you all next time.